How's it going? I'm Steve with Marine Depot Direct, and today we're going to talk about some ladders. This is my dog. Alright, so to start off, I am not going to claim that this is a totally unbiased review. It's just, they got me a competitor ladder from generic brand number 3. Just meaning that they didn't tell me what brand it is, and there's just the generic warning sticker on it, so I don't know whose ladder this is. And then we have the Whitewater Marine Hardware transom ladder that we sell. Apparently they couldn't find the 4-step version of this, so ours only comes in 4-step. I have a 3-step of the competitor, so we just won't compare the number of steps and the height and everything like that. So first off, I do notice a couple pretty obvious actually a lot of obvious differences. There's very little in common here. These steps are a lot thinner, a lot more narrow, or at least marginally more narrow than the Whitewater Marine Hardware one. A lot of boat ladders tend to have more narrow widths, but that's just kind of common. This just seems very tiny. Let's see. Yeah, the outer diameter of these fits almost right between these, so it's significantly smaller. One of the first things I notice is the little gudgeons. Ours are pretty standard, I would think, or maybe not if this is standard, but the Whitewater Marine Hardware version has just these nice little gudgeons that have the 2 little screw holes they stick in. They're all good. I was told that this is also 304 stainless steel. I can't, review that because I am not going to send this for chemical testing and all of that fun stuff. Their gudgeons are much more like kind of a half moon shape. And they have this little piece in here for, I assume, so you have the option to remove it, which is interesting, but I can't imagine that would be super great, even though it didn't actually come with any pieces for it. So you would have to kind of, I don't know, get like a screw or something that was large enough and just make sure to not screw it in all the way. And that just seems a little bit sketchy for the, just your boat in general. So I don't know if I would do that to my boat, but hey, if you want, I guess that's an extra feature that this has that ours doesn't. But it also does come with have 2 little screw holes on top and bottom so that you can screw it in. It also does come with fasteners, unlike ours. Now, the issue with including fasteners is that you don't know what type of boat this is going to be installed in, and it didn't say what material the fasteners were, so I don't know if they were aluminum or steel. I would imagine that they were steel, but you don't know. And everyone knows you can't put steel and aluminum together, especially if you're going to put them in water, because that's going to, cause a bit of a reaction and get corrosion happening real quick. You also don't know the thickness of the hull that you're installing this in. So that just doesn't seem like a great idea. But they did it. The next difference is we've got some of the standoffs here. Theirs have very sleek looking caps to them. Ours have a bit more bulkier one. Again, I'm probably a bit biased. I like ours because I feel like it provides a little bit more padding for the boat, because technically these ladders aren't secured anywhere but the top, so they do kind of move around a little bit, and I feel like if it has more padding, it's going to be a little bit safer for your boat. One thing that our customers will do sometimes is they'll grab some rail bases and mount the ladder down here as well. And that's a fun little, not fun, but it's a smart thing to do in case you want this ladder more permanently mounted so that it can't swing. I'm sure you could do the same to these ones. The tubing is just a little bit thinner, which is the other thing I noticed, because this is definitely, I believe, like a 1 inch, and this looks more like 7/8 inch. I could be a little off, but I'm sure there will be words on the screen correcting me or affirming me right now. One of the other odd things, the standoffs on our ladder are welded directly on, so there's no like kind of gaps or anything like that for particulate to get in that'll cause corrosion. Whereas this one has kind of an odd little bracket situation, and it's bolted directly through the standoff and then just screwed on to the actual ladder leg itself. So it's kind of just holding on there. And when you look down, you can see, you won't be able to see it on camera. I'll throw up an image here. You can see that there's just fully open tubing. Even in freshwater, that's going to be, I think the term is aggregation point for particulate, and that's going to, give other particulate a little thing to grab onto and just cause more corrosion. So I don't think that's a great design. Now, when we look at where the ladder actually folds, oh, that's extremely loose. Look at that. That just spins around nice and easy. Whereas on the whitewater version here, you can move this, but it's gonna hold steady. Wow, you could really just clap that in there. Oh, and that smacks? Goodness. All right, well then. Interesting. So theirs has this funny little hinge bracket type of setup where it's not even a true hinge. It's just on some bolts with a plastic or Delrin washer in there that's just letting it come back up and align with itself, which is nice because it does. Yeah, you can't make that misalign, so it's going to align every time, which is nice. It's a good thing. It just feels real. It's not super thin metal, but it's definitely not like it's. I feel like it's providing just another weakness to the ladder. I feel like this is going to snap or bend at some point, and if one of these bends, then your whole ladder is just gone. The whitewater version just has a welded on hinge. I know that this hinge is 316 stainless steel because, like I said, the hinge is like one of the most important parts. So you want to make sure that it's super resistant to corrosion, and you want to make sure that it's nice and tough. So the whitewater version has the 316 stainless steel hinge, and it just folds down nice and seamlessly so that your ladder lines up with itself and provides you with a nice, clean entry onto your boat there. The other thing I see is a lot of rattle if you're going to be mounting this on permanently, which ours, you have to. This one, if you use this little extra channel to keep it more mobile and removable, then I guess it's not going to be too much of a bother, but I'm going to hold onto the gudgeons and just kind of rattle it around. These hinges down here are going to give it extra wobble, along with this loose ladder clip. That's not the gudgeons you hear, that's the actual ladder itself rattling around. There's the whitewater version. Grab that. I'm moving the gudgeons a little with my hands, but perfectly silent, nice and sturdy. There is a price difference. I'll throw up the price when I find out how much they paid for this. I'll throw that up on the screen. I've seen these around, I think they're only about $40. Ours are quite a bit higher than that. I think there is a reason for that. But yeah, that's what I see between these two different versions here. I didn't know that this was going to turn to me kind of trash talking the generic brand. I'm sorry if that sounded bad, but that seems to be what it has turned into. Oh my. So if you'd like or have done your own comparison before, or if you've used either ours or a competitor's, I would love to hear what you thought. I'd love to see any kind of comments. But thanks for joining me with this. Thank you for watching me kind of be a little bit mean to this ladder. So I'm sorry about that. But thank you so much for keeping tuned with me, and I will see you in the next one. This is what happens when I bring my dog to work. Isn't that right, Cinder? You tolerate me. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Yeah, Cinder's a good boy. Do you have anything to say? Hey, thanks for checking out that video. Click over here to see what YouTube thinks that you should be watching next, and click over here to subscribe to our channel so that you never miss another video.